this was a tough situation to be in. And how he peaked here with where he was at and pinch where he was at, he was able to kill or eliminate them both. It was just an insane play.
Oh man, dude,
he had nowhere to go. Yeah, he had
close quarters. That double barrel is not what you want to be messing around with.
This snipe, that range too, Zeke, 245 meters. We don't see that too often in a competitive setting. That is great sniping.
And the best part was he was able to secure that elimination for that point.
So they don't have to get reckless and rush in. They can just keep on playing how they normally play.
Yep.
Nice pyramid usage. They're whacking away. Get that nice little shot. That pinch, and then the bounce back mid-air. That spray.
Right. Yeah, they find Teddy with a long-range snipe, and then, yep, secure the elims. Oh my gosh! Oh wow, there goes one of the NIP guys.
And then the final engagement, very well close to the end of the game here. Trying to heal up, sees an enemy, almost caught in the storm here.
And this is the tough spot to be in, man. They lasered Gabby's teammate.
And he was trying to shoot the structure to bring him down instead of focusing fire. That was really smart. If you could have got it a little sooner, they would have failed. The enemy's aim would have been thrown off, and maybe it would have been a different scenario, but he played that very well. Definitely.
Let's take a look at the standings coming in after this first match. Let's see where players are at right now. So, here we go. Reguli and Broken PSN all the way to the top. They have 7 points. They got that 7-point elimination, and they've got this wrecking ball icon. That means for next game, their points and eliminations will be doubled. Here we go. Mox and Tixi in second. We've got Kling and Sandel. There's a lot of names. I'm sorry, I'm going to pronounce some of them wrong. And here we go, Atlantis, Mitro, and Kinzo, so it's not actually Atlantis' teammate from last week. He's got someone else, but they've activated the Kingpin bonus. So every elimination for next game will be triple. So we'll have to see how those, and look, Solry and Airwatch right here, top 8. Not too bad after game 1.
And this is all about points. The most amount of points at the end of 8 games is the winner. And obviously there's top 10, top 20 rankings, and those will be in the prize pool as well. But yeah, 1 elimination, 1 point, and they are doing spectacular so far, all these contestants.
For sure. Let us know how you guys at home are enjoying all this action. Hit us with that hashtag Summer Skirmish. Let's start making predictions. Let's have a conversation. What do you think's going down? You liking the format? What do you wish was different? Let us know, and definitely send in your favorite Twitch clips. We'll hop into game in just a moment. What do you think, man? Especially after yesterday, it's a pretty explosive first start.
The biggest thing with this tournament so far is the action. I mean, if you just look back at previous matches and of like just public matches or solo scrims, I mean, you always see people tunneling in and hiding and everything. In these tournaments, people are going out for the eliminations. They're being aggressive. They're going for those entertaining plays. And as a fan, as a viewer at home, I'm sure everyone's having a good time. I am as well.
That's right. And you've actually competed, Nick. You've actually been in a lot of these tournaments. So what is it like going from competing to here? You kind of get a different perspective on things, right?
Well, I kind of feel for everyone who's like, I guess, stressing out and under pressure. Man, I think I'm one of the people who get very, very nervous beforehand, before all these tournaments.
I've noticed.
I freak out over every little thing. But if anyone is watching from the tournament right now, just know that if you got eliminated early on, I mean, you can still redeem yourself very, very quickly. We're only 1 match in, and it's very, very easy to get back up on the board and make a comeback.
Yeah, we saw even yesterday, goes Bizzle. They went from literally 25th, dropped to 24-point game, and then we're suddenly in second place. So it's literally anyone's game until that final 8th match. But I think we're ready to hop into match 2, so if you're ready,
I'm ready.
Let's do it. We're going into match number 2, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're enjoying this action. Don't forget to hit us with that hashtag. Let's talk about all the fun games, the fun times we're having. But here we go, man. What do you think is what do you hope to see done differently?
Well, honestly, with how this tournament's been going, I actually don't want to see anything different. I really, really like what we're seeing. You know, maybe a possible Skybase if people are feeling confident, but I doubt that's going to happen. It'd be fun to watch, though.
Oh, Solar Hunter's watching me. Well, that was weird.
We've got a lot of players jumping out of the battle bus right here. It looks like a nice little diverse spread out of people all around the map.
Interesting. It looks like these first duo here in Rogue are going to head over to containers.
Yeah. Great spot. So the containers, I mean, there are some pallets to be farmed there. You can get quite a little bit of wood for materials. The metal of the containers is not too good of idea to farm. It takes too long. They're actually dropping with another enemy nearby.
Oh, okay, so there you go. That's 1 player down. That's a free. He
got very aggressive there. He almost should have bailed if he saw the enemy coming in there.
Yeah.
And shouldn't have tried to challenge out, especially since he had a lower drop.
2 la mână moderatorul îl dau pe activitate sau pe donarea 10 euro. Dacă donezi 10 euro, ai moderator.
A lot of areas to hide at in this area. But as we see, these are the pallets I was mentioning, so you can farm quite a bit of wood, but there's not really much of anything else to farm. The containers take too long to farm, and it doesn't give you as much metal as you might think. So I guess they come here because it would seemingly be an isolated area with no enemies around. It'd be a good place to start a match.
See them. There was a rift that opened not too far, so someone is rifting around somewhere.
Yeah, and you can tell they're a little paranoid. They're not looting. They're not being efficient with their time because they're scouting out for the enemy to see if there's someone else nearby. And if we look at the map, actually, in the container area, it doesn't look like Zeke that there's anyone nearby. I think his teammate might have used the rift and bailed.
Yeah, his teammate might have bailed for sure.
So they are still looking for an enemy, but little do they know that there is no one nearby.
And that's the thing, man, is we kind of talked about it that...
Is it?
Oh, they were on, okay, so he was actually hiding. They were on top of each other. That's why we couldn't see them.
Wow.
Yep. But man, that's the thing, right, is you have to assume, like we talked about it, everyone in this lobby is an amazing player.
Yeah.
So letting your guard down for even just a second is all that enemy team could need to just instant laser you.
One pump to the face and it's over just like that. So you've got to be on your toes at all times.
Oh, dude, if you look at this llama right here, there's a camel, sorry. There's actually a chest in here. The thing has like 1,000 HP. Every time I get it, I walk by there and I hear the chest. I'm like,
it's not a bad, and it's not a bad piece of material to be farming either. It gives you quite a bit as well.
It's true.
Even though it's near the rifts, near those tiki heads, they give you a lot of brick. Very smart for people to drop there initially. Here we see the rift. Speaking of which, and they're near Paradise Palms.
I'm gonna land on the hill.
Oh, okay, so they're gonna make a landing there. These guys are over near Loot Lake. Look at these freaking chests just chilling. That's the, I mean, slurp juice?
Da, păi
I mean, with slurps now, they've recently changed it, so it gives you 75 health or shield. It will start with your health if you have no health, and then it changes over to your shield for the remaining bit of that slurp.
That's right.
Very, very great healing item now that's in the game.
Very tasty, definitely, indeed.
What do you think it would taste like if you were to drink a slurp juice?
Oh, man. Dude, you know, I really hope that it's like a little fruity almost.
Yeah, well, with the shield, like the blue, it reminds me of some kind of, you know, blue raspberry flavor. I think it would be pretty good.
Okay. You think it's like a liquid or you think it's like cold?
It would be something like a slushy, something very cold.
See, we're in agreement. I like this. I like this. So this is NIP. They made it super far last game, hanging out near Loot Lake.
Yeah, and he's trying to, I guess, farm up. I think they're trying to play the late game here. Goes for a snipe. He builds. He saw from far away.
So this is the thing. Like, these are good players, right? That's how you know. Because if this was a pub, there's no way that player is, like, suspecting at all.
Yeah. And everyone is just hyper aware, and we're going to notice that, as I mentioned, like, later into the game, when people are building one by one, and they're raiding and they're stalking, people are going to be very aware of where everyone's at, and you'll see a lot of people get picked off.
Uai de capul meu, knockdown la 202.
2-meter headshot.
Băi, voi
These players in day 2 are insane with their snipes.
You know what's interesting? We actually saw less snipes from day 1. And in day 2, we've seen more snipes than in day 1.
They're trying to make up for that lack of snipes in day 1. This is incredible. Can he get another?
Ce aproape.
Isn't it satisfying? So
it really is, though.
Nu știu Gabriel.
202 meters, man. What a legend. So they're going to try and, remember we talked about this, if this ally can get the revive, there's no points, right? Because it has to be on elimination.
Yeah. Definitely was worth it to go for that shot, I'd say, because they have to waste their healing items, their mini shields, their bandages if they have some to heal up. And you know they're going to be caught off guard. Now they're on the defensive. They're trying to run away. They clearly don't want this battle. They're trying to survive. The enemy team is probably going for that kingpin bonus to survive and get the victory royale. So if they can put a lot of pressure or get a couple shots up, maybe they can soften them up for late game. But with the way they're currently running away, I think the enemy team may escape. They're not looking to fight here.
Yeah, and again, it's all about these micro advantages, little things you can do to give yourself an advantage so that you guys can go into the next engagement and hopefully find those eliminations.
And I think there's 2 teams here now. I think they got pinched, and this is a beautiful spot. They have the high ground now.
Look at this, fighting on the edge of Dusty. Grenades are coming out. Players are going to start falling. Oh, he managed to secure and build a wall there so he wouldn't fall down.
And now they're trying to take the high ground while one teammate suppresses. Very well done. Now you'll notice these teams are always in sync. You know, oh wow, close up shotgun battle. Oh. Bales tries to get the high ground, very
no
smart.
damage there. Luckily, just happened to just jump at the right angle and dodged every single bullet.
Yeah, very well done.
Where is this guy compared to you?
Right here, right here.
Maybe we should listen in?
Let's listen in.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, on me.
This guy's real low. I knocked him, knocked one.
On me. Like right under, he's hit 80,
Yeah.
Destroy the pyramid.
As you can see, he's trying to place a pyramid of his own. That way the enemy can't place a pyramid, and that way he can make the edit and get through to that other layer down below. But he couldn't place it. The enemy was turbo building, so the pyramid would get placed right away. And now you just saw the enemy replace it, and he makes an edit himself. Trying to own the wall, Zeke, as you've talked about. Goes in!
It's another method! Can he find the limit? Oh, gosh. There you go. So both method guys are out right now.
Wow.
And look at this. They couldn't find that elimination. So he's going, Goofy is going to be revived.
Right.
That means they're not going to get that point.
And what we saw there is this guy trying to place a pyramid down, not for any purpose other than so the enemy couldn't place his own pyramid. That way he could make an edit and go down to the next layer. It was very smart, high-level play there. But unfortunately, he couldn't get that pyramid down. But they still got the execution, or the elimination, which is impressive.
Definitely over to Lunar Airwalks and Solar Rigging Hunter. These guys are currently in our 8th spot, I believe. Doing okay.
Yeah, and what you'll notice is a lot of these teams are in sync. And it's rare to find one person shooting, the other one just wandering off. They always time it in sync, and that's what you want. You don't want to be focused on 1 versus 2. You don't want it to be one person focused on 2 players at any time.
Yeah. And it's a testament to duos, right? You know, it's all about coordination. It's not, it's 2 people making decisions and that are cohesive, right? It's not just, hey man, I'm firing. You're like, wait, why did you fire? No, I wasn't ready. I'm not here. I'm not in position. You know, they're very clearly communicating these things.
Yeah, that in sync. Oh wow, this was a bounce pad play midair.
Okay.
Touches him a little bit with that 24 damage, critical damage.
But his teammate finds the elimination.
Nice.
I think that was both. Yeah. So they eliminated that duo there. So they've got a point each.
Right.
Oh man.
Beautiful.
I love those bounce plays, man. When you bounce and you like fly over someone.
Right.
I can't do them, but they are so awesome to watch.
Keeping the high ground here. Spots an enemy. Still builds right back up.
This is Fnatic Power and Jaro. We've seen a lot of Fnatic Power, man. He's such a phenomenal player.
Going for those pop-up shots, and he builds right away. Wow.
Oh, no, that was Fiona. No. Oh. We saw a lot of Fiona last week.
Yeah.
He's a great player as well.
Beautiful.
Oh,
and you'll notice between each one of his shots, he'll try to build and get the high ground again to get another angle to see the enemy before the enemy can see him. And then he goes for the shot, and then he builds. Goes for the shot, and then he builds.
Da, dar sunt ăștia youtuberii mari, știi?
So Jarl now has 3 elims under his belt. We got to hope that Power has any. Because remember, we have to have 7 eliminations to activate Wrecking Ball for the next game.
Right.
It's very vital. And keep in mind, Razor and Broken PSN from last game activated Wrecking Ball. They were the only team to activate that via the 7 eliminations. And then Atlantis, Mitro, and Kinzel have that Kingpin bonus.
Yeah.
So these are some of those wide shots we talked about.
Yeah. Wow, and looks like a battle going on here. There's 2 players down on each team, so it's a 1 versus 1 currently.
It's Lay.
He drops down, same level. I think
he secured the elim.
He secured it, yeah. And there's another team launch padding in, if I'm not mistaken. I heard a launch pad possibly, so they do need to be aware once they're done with this battle. Enemies could have the high ground, and it could be over for all of them on the low ground.
Do you think it was a Solary and Airwax there? Lunary and Solary? I mean, we saw them up on the cliff side over there. We can see their outlines through the... Yeah, look.
There is yeah, you're right. They're throwing explodes down, and if they're smart, these players at the bottom will disengage and try to build up and avoid everything and just maybe disengage entirely because they're low health.
Oh no, Solary Hunter. We've seen this guy show up and perform. Hunter is a guy that literally does what his name implies.
Oh my god, ăla să duce la alți 2.
There's another squad.
Băi, ești nebun.
Running over doesn't end. And that's why sometimes it's better to not take engagements, because every engagement you take is a risk at dying and a risk at getting 3rd-partied, 4th-partied, 5th-partied. I mean, there's just, the smaller the circle gets, the more likely you're going to run into enemies, the less. So I mean, you shouldn't take as many fights late game.
Nick, look at this. They couldn't find the elimination on Lei. They disengaged the fight. Now the player that was fighting Lei is off, probably fighting another duo.
Yeah.
And look at this. Lei's like, hey, teammate, just crawl over. You're fine.
You gotta take those opportunities when you see them, and that was beautiful right there. Beautiful. And now he's got the minis. He's healing up with bandages.
Dude,
they're in a good position.
Look at this teammate. He drops the bandages before even taking for his own.
Yeah.
That's a real teammate.
I mean, it comes back to like communication and teamwork, as we talked about. I would argue that I would rather like a teammate who can communicate well, who may not be the most skilled at gunplay or the most skilled at building. But as long as that communication and that chemistry is there, I think that can make an ultimate team versus the two best players who don't communicate at all, in a sense.
That's right. Now, do you think, in your opinion, is when you're playing duos, is there a role each person's playing? Are you saying like, okay, hey, you carry a med kit, or are we both carrying med kits? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would be smart to divvy it up. You don't want to be carrying like wasting a slot in your inventory for like minis for both of you guys. One person can hold the minis and then drop them as needed if needed.
Oh my gosh, this is Ukes and Reflection. Now, Ukes and Reflection have been two phenomenal players we've seen over the last few weeks. And to see them paired, oh my gosh, this is probably going to be my favorite duo of the day.
And it looks like he's giving up that high ground. There was a little battle going off. He decides to drop down. He can try to get in a build-off, but maybe he's trying to conserve mats. He doesn't have that many.
And you don't really want to be using your metal, right? Not at this stage.
Exactly.
You can, but it's less than ideal.
Yeah, you want to save it for those towers or for those platforms for endgame so no one can knock you down when you're trying to build up really, really high.
Salut, Răzvan, salut și bine venit. Ce să fac, taci? Uite, mă uit la campionatul ce văd.
He's at least got some amount, right?
Right. And they want to get out of here. They're both in one situation, and one by one. If an enemy like does 2 C4s there, they're both going to get eliminated in a matter of seconds. And it's good. They do split up.
That's actually an interesting point, because you'd think that in these types of games that you need to be almost glued at the hip with your teammate, but
yeah, and sometimes that's not the best option.
That's right, especially with explodes, you see the double clinger plays where you drop your clingers, blow up the wall, and then suddenly it's a burst of damage there.
Exactly. And I think maybe there was a couple more battles going on there, so decide to take an opportunity and disengage and just leave. And look, the enemy still thinks who's on Dusty. They still think they're there. So they played that very well, I think, in the circumstance they were in.
For sure.
Live to get eliminated another day.
That's right. This is a Nick A. classic saying.
Uitați, dragilor, dacă vreți să fim mai mulți acum pe acest live, dați voi like, dați share, dați de toate.
This is the current map.
Înscriu pe Steam. Ok, Iulian, o să scriu.
We see one players left alone. You can see the little red triangle there.
And yeah, if we look at Dusty, there's one solo and then a duo, and then there's actually one in the divot itself. So I mean, there could possibly be some third parties here.
Unde Frozi, nu știu, n-am idee unde este.
They immediately call it out. Do you want to listen in?
Let's listen in.
Okay, let's get him.
Twice. He's alone. Three shots. 99 damage. 99 damage. Oh, two guys.
Just push him.
No, wait. They have to come to us.
Goes down. Now it's a 1 versus 2. However, he does have the high ground. He should almost bail or just try to do as much damage as he can from the high ground here. Take full advantage before the enemies try to build up right now. And now they've claimed it, and he is in a bad situation. And he gets one down. 1 versus 1.
That was Atlantis Mitro. They won last game, so what's it? Atlantis Mitro was gone. That means only his teammate is alive right now.
Mind you, the storm is chunking for 2 damage. When it closes, it'll chunk for 5 damage per second. Takes it down in the storm.
There you go. Look at that, yelling, saying, let's go. Power now has 3 elims under his belt. Oh, but look at this. There's just teams everywhere.
Getting third-partied. I mean, he has the storm on him. He has an enemy to his left. One on top of the Tomato Town little bridge. There's just a...
și-am eliminat unul, du-te, frate.
They might...
Yeah, it sounds like they might have Wrecking Ball for next game. That's why they sounded super excited. And honestly, finding that's 7 points on the board, and then next game saying, look, our points are doubled, that's still a means to celebrate, even if you don't get that victory out.
Exactly. I mean, that could be huge. That could put them on the board if they're not currently on the board. And now we see that other player.
Oh, no, that was canceled. That was the teammate there of Atlantis Mitro, so that means the guys that won last game are both eliminated.
And what's interesting is they both dropped down to get the loot. One should have almost stayed up and scouted, because an enemy could be right here, right now, who has the high ground. Luckily, there isn't anyone, but it's a risky move where you both go down.
I know how. Mă uit la campionat.
That's right. Look at this. Again, we're finding the circle near Tomato Town.
Și am zis ca să fac și un live să
Now it's
văd
going to be on more
dacă
of
vă
the
place
west
sau
side,
nu.
though. Look at just as you look out, you just see structures, 2x1s.
Hai nebunule că am făcut-o lată pentru că mai la
in
țară
solos,
aici
it's just
și nu are de
a ton of 1x1s.
Right?
And in duos, you look out and you're like, that is a metal 2x1. No way I'm bringing the whole thing
Exactly.
down.
Unless you've got like a ton of 64 or
explodes,
But people are more hyper aware. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like everyone is playing it more safe and smarter late game because they have all their mats. It's all based on skill.
Se aude cam tare cel care vorbește, păi dacă îl dau mai încet nu să-l mai auziți,
in the top 16 right now. This is NIP. They went really far. I believe they came
deci nu pot să-l dau mai încet, Liviu.
Last place.
Cu cât îl dau mai încet, cu atât voi nu-l mai auziți absolut deloc.
I mean, they've got a decent amount of mats. They definitely want to conserve it if they're looking to survive and get the kingpin bonus. But I mean, they have 3 kills, at least the player we're currently
deci voi mai mult trebuie să-i auziți pe ăștia decât pe mine,
4 more, and they have the wrecking ball bonus, assuming his team
doesn't
have any eliminations, but he probably does.
Okay, so we've got a launch pad if they need to bail out at any time. Oh, interesting. Oh, what a gross. And we saw this last game, someone left a launch pad and the team found it and they were able to utilize it. So they say, look, this is our launch pad. We're going to drop a grenade, we're going to use it, bounce out, and then that's it. No one is able to use it.
No other players can use it and sneak up on them. Very smart play.
That's next level strat, man.
Yes.
Oh, there's someone directly below them in Tomato.
And this is where pyramids would come into use. Placing a floor, then a pyramid, they'd have to break through 2 layers, and you can really contain the enemy if they're spraying from directly below you.
It looks like they're trying to do the same thing with the ramps.
Yeah, good point, good point.
I know.
Let's listen in.
Da, pentru că scăpăm de idioți de gen. Da, aia da, acolo da, Andreier, dar adminii mai fac și apăs de putere, deci... Păi mei. Ultimii 13. Ăștia n-au medkit-uri, n-au nimica, deci după cum se vede e cam periculos să nu ai așa ceva.
Oh yeah, they are breaking it down, I think. At least they're moving. I hit one of them for 20.
Come here, come to me. I need mats. How much do you have?
I have 1 HP. Wow, and I was just about to say, at this stage of the game, it's almost good to kind of, I mean, there's 11 players. That's approximately 5 teams left. It's almost better to just scout out and see where this team is, where that team is. So when you're rotating to the next circle, you know where you can get shot from, and you don't get picked off like that.
Man, that's gotta feel real bad.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like they have any meds because his teammate would have given him some.
1 second in the storm and he's a goner. He's got to be very careful.
City Driver and Camo. Oh man, I'm
excited
to see Camo. We saw Camo 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
no, Camo won one of the tournaments for EU a few weeks ago actually. Really great player. Now he's paired with City Driver.
And what we saw right there is he threw a clinger on the wall, and then he shot the wall, so the clinger doesn't blow up the wall. Instead, the clinger, the bullets will break the wall, and the clinger does that inside damage against the enemy, versus the clinger only breaking the wall and not doing any damage at all.
That's right.
Very next level strategy.
But look at this, Camo's down, but it's all right. They can peel back, they can just res, and look at this, they're inside the storm.
Yeah,
8 players.
And with the storm this small, they're definitely going to want to build up now, get the high ground. They have the mats to do it. If the storm circles out somewhere else, I'm sure they could almost build floors over to it.
Did you see their mats?
They have a lot of mats.
995.
Yeah.
What? And I mean, this player here only has 200 metal.
In comparison.
It's Andrei, actually eliminated Power not too long ago.
Meciuri de-astea grele, tati, deci nu e ceva așa
The storm is
ușor.
chunking for a lot here. You definitely don't want to be staying in here too long.
Okay.
Oh,
no,
wow!
That was one of those bouncer plays I like to see. Okay.
Sunt copii de 14-15 ani unii dintre
ei. And now, Zeke, there's only 5 players in total. 1 goes down.
Oh, snafu.
City Driver again.
So it looks like City Driver is a little bit going on a little bit of a rampage right now.
Right. It could possibly be a 2 versus 1 versus 1 at this situation.
Look at him there, City Driver.
Da, e campionat
so
pro
look, I believe it is. No. Yeah, it's a 2 versus 1 versus 1 because City Driver and Camo are still alive.
Gabriel, nu mai insista, tati, că nu avem fete.
I believe one player's below them. Yeah, right there.
And it looks like they're trying to go for the finish rather than like a healing kind of ending where you survive the storm. They are playing very aggressive. So, and yeah, we can see 4 players left.
I mean, they've got the rockets, right? Like, oh, they used 1 rocket.
They know he's in here.
So he is. I was going to say, as the extra player, the extra 1, do you just wait? Do you try to, like, chip damage as well? And you saw
I think you want to use that. There's 2 solo players alive, right? So as one of the solo players, you almost want to use that other solo as a distraction while the players of 2, the team of 2 is focused on him. Otherwise, I mean, 1 versus 2, you're not in a good situation. So you need to make a move here while they're distracted like right now.
Because they're trying to go for high ground, which is smart.
Yeah. And if you're that other solo player on the map, you should be trying to do something here as well. Because when they get this elimination against this 1 solo who's building off with them, and then they can focus their undivided attention on that 1 other person, and it's not going to be a good time.
And they're going for true high ground. This is something you've talked about, so they just build out a very wide... Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, dude, anytime... Okay, I wish that...
Very efficient way to get down, eh?
Yeah, so you build a wall, and then I've seen some people do, like, floors. We've also seen the ramps, which is good.
And he gets the finish right there with the RPG.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Intrebarea has 4 eliminations. You gotta hope that Camel has 3, because if he does, they've activated... no, actually, they got the victory out. Doesn't even matter.
Right.
Kingpin.
That's triple the points for the next match. That means each elimination that they get for next game will be worth 3 points, which is huge.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at that final moment from that game. Let's see how City Driver and Camo were able to secure this victory royale.
And mind you, he has the high ground here, and he's confident enough in his skills that he's like, I'm coming right down there.
Yeah.
And it works. It catches the enemy off guard. And I think his teammate was staying up possibly to maybe go for a healing enemy. Wow. And just like that.
Yeah, with the RPG, man.
And you saw his teammate kind of providing suppression fire from above. That way the solo player couldn't just focus his undivided attention on the one who dropped down, right? There was a split of focus. So it was really well played. Great teamwork. And comes back to communication. They coordinate that very, very well.
Definitely. And for you guys at home, let us know how you're enjoying these games with the hashtag Summer Skirmish. How was that ending? Do you think it was exciting? Let us know. Talk about how awesome this guy is, which is very...
Nah, not at all.
It's very,
Thank you.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights coming in from match 2 right now.
Yeah. Knocked one.
Ooh! Wow. That was broken PSN. No!
Finished one.
So broken PSN and Razor had the victory out from last game. So, oh man,
another battle we saw in day 1. Cypher was actually pinned down in that in the villain base as well. A lot of teams are resorting to that strategy. It's very interesting.
This is Kinstar here.
Great builds, not getting caught on any of them. He knows exactly how to get to the high ground. Nice shot. 85 blue takes him down. Another one, but gets taken out himself.
Man, super close there.
Yeah. Focusing on 2, not getting overly aggressive on just 1. He's dividing his attention, very smart. Not being, not committing on. Well, then we see that bounce pad play. Wow.
So,
Great block with that floor.
Okay. We got the gumshoes hanging out in Storm. No way, not like this.
No, he's not.
No.
Oh, he's healing in the open! You gotta love the reactions of these guys.
This is Lunar Airwalks and Hunter.
That was from very far away. 125 meters, wow.
Whoa!
Nice!
That was Fnatic Jarl. Oh, remember he went down and Fnatic Power was left alone up top, right?
And they go right for that finish. They want that Wrecking Ball bonus. And of course the great finish right here with the RPG, that splash damage on the wall, incoming in approximately 3 seconds.
Oh, look at that, 3 seconds on the dot.
Gotta love it.
That's why we have Nick A here, because he is a man of precision.
My precision is very precise.
You guys at home are probably curious about the standings right now, so let's take a look together. So after our first game, Kinzel and Mitchell, they're at the top with 17 points. We've got Snafu. They actually found themselves with 7 eliminations. There we go. They've got the Wrecking Ball, so for next game, their points will be doubled. Same for Fnatic, Power, and Draw. We saw them get excited. That's why they've activated Wrecking Ball. And then Camo and City Driver have activated the Kingpin bonus. So their points for next game will be tripled. But, man, look at this spread of numbers. And look, even the difference is between 8 and 7 is 1 point. So even one elimination suddenly puts them all in contention for that top 10 spots, right?
Yeah, and as we were talking about at the beginning, I mean, not a lot of people are getting this Wrecking Ball bonus. It is pretty difficult. I mean, only 2 teams got it so far. For this round going into the next one. So it's definitely hard to do to get 7+ eliminations, and props to the teams who have been getting them. Very impressive work.
For sure. Let's take a look at the standings here from Game 2. The top 20 situation we're finding ourselves in is, okay, so it's only at 4 points. So there's a lot of teams. You can see the following teams all have 3. There's 5 teams right behind them. So like if those points didn't change, right, and those people behind them only got 1 point, that means suddenly they're all fighting for top 20.
Yeah, that's crazy how close of a battle it is. And
that's right.
It goes back to saying, don't count yourself out. If you're competing in these tournaments and you get eliminated early on, just don't do it. You can make a comeback.
Always keep your head in the game. But we're going to take a short break for everyone there at home watching. Go find yourself a snack. Go find something to drink. We'll see you in 5 minutes. See you soon. Welcome back to week 5 of the summer skirmish. My name's Zeke, and this week we're joined by Nick A30.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show.
Whew, so we've had an explosive 2 games here so far from the European players. Yeah. What do you think after those first 2 games, man?
I mean, we still haven't seen that sky base. I'm waiting for the sky base. It's been all right now. It's been an awesome, awesome show so far. A lot of great action and just stuff that we just wouldn't expect, right? Bolt action, hunting rifle shots like from miles and miles away. It's just been insane. Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Definitely. Well, every week we're swapping up the format. So just a reminder, the format for this week is called Kingpin. So players are fighting for the most points. Eliminations are worth 1 point a pop. If your duo can find 7 eliminations or more, for the next game you activate Wrecking Ball, and that means that your eliminations for that next game are going to be doubled. If your team can find a Victory Royale, you activate the Kingpin bonus, and that means for your next game, you've got a multiplier of ×3. Man, oh man, it's going to start swinging points.
Yeah, and with these points, the only way to get them is through those eliminations. If you want that triple point bonus through the Kingpin bonus, you need to get those eliminations. So we're going to see a lot of action.
Yeah, man, with $500,000 on the line, I mean, you know, for a few hours of Fortnite, it's not too bad.
I like it. That is a pretty dang awesome prize pool. myself. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So now we have 2 games under our belt, right? So what do you think, and what are you kind of hoping to see? I feel like even just over the first game,
right,
seeing some things develop.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all. To the first initial drops, those quick little shotgun plays, the cool action-packed gameplay. And we've even seen the end game scenarios where people are building and playing meticulously. We've seen the edit plays, the bolt action headshots. Honestly, I just want to keep seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're ready, then.
I'm ready.
Are you about ready to hop into game 2?
I think
so. Or this is game 3, rather. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm definitely very excited. I think we should do it.
All right, here we go. We'll be hopping into match number 3. Don't forget, we have 8 games coming your way. Still so much more action to be seen. So many more 200-meter plus sniper headshots. Yeah. We saw like 3 first game.
It was nuts.
It was like 2 or 3 the next game. Oh, man.
A lot of great action so far. So I can't wait to see where people are going to be dropping those initial engagements, those mid-game engagements. It's just so many different play styles throughout the match that we see. And it's been a lot of fun.
We've actually seen a few players favor kind of like the more sandy half of the map. So the lower right, we've seen people land Paradise Palms, some near the Gus racetrack, even some near Pueblo. So,
and I think the reason why Paradise is such a high occupied area is because of all those like rifts. You know, it's a quick way to farm up, get your loot, and then go anywhere you want. And you can choose after a rift whether you want to scout out, whether you want to go into another battle, whether you want more loot. I mean, from the air, there's so much you can see and observe.
Yep.
After that rip. An initial AR pickup. Takes out possibly 2, 1 down.
Oh my gosh, I think he plinked the second player for 62, right? It was a headshot on the secondary player.
He's very, very hurt right now. And the question is he going to push that, or is he going to want to make sure to get mats?
Oh, but you know, that's tough because if they wait too long, they're going to get the revive. They're going for it. This is Teaksy going for it as well.
Mind you, both of these players do not have any shields, so if the enemy inside here who's hurt has a shotgun, it could be over.
Oh no, they fight. Okay, so that's 1 player down.
Yep. The one is still standing, though. 1 shotgun is all it takes, though. They've got to be careful.
Look at this. They're running in the room, chasing this player down. Teaksy leading the pack. Oh, no. They find elimination.
And he had a big shield, too, as well, that he couldn't even pop.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. They're just transferring that loot. That's all this is.
Yeah, that was a very great aggressive play on their part. Claiming Tilted Towers, and it looks like they're the only ones remaining currently in Tilted, so they have all of that to loot, all of that to farm, and they're going to walk out of there with quite a bit of great loot and mats.
Definitely. Taking a look at the map, man. Look at this. Everyone's spread out. There's definitely a few spots where some of the duos have landed. Look at this. They're favoring risky reels at top. We didn't actually see much of that yesterday. We saw players. It was always like 1 duo landing Wailing, Risky, and then near Lazy Links. And now we see it's shifting.
And it kind of comes back to, like, near risky reels, there is that rift as well. It goes back to that quick escape route, that quick bail if you need to. And I think a lot of these teams kind of tend to drop towards the rifts. I mean, this Season 5 change with those rifts and with those ATKs has been amazing, and it just adds a whole new dynamic. I mean, I don't think we'd see people landing there if there were no rifts.
Oh, that has been people right.
Definitely adds a whole new dynamic.
I'm curious to see the team landing in Junction. Look at that. They've got the farthest basically to run, so we'll have to see if they can make that. But hopping over here.
Yeah, it looks like they're in an engagement here. Farming every single second or trying to break that rock so it's not in its way for any kind of engagement.
Okay.
And DK actually played last week. Played super high. We saw some great play coming out from him. And actually, At one point, he was actually, we like were listening in, and he just narrated the final moments of the game for us. So I'm a really big fan of
our job easy.
Yeah,
right?
he's just doing the job for us. So I was like, DK, take it away, you know?
So it looks like are they pushing up to get this battle? It looks like they are.
Look at this.
One with the burst to the right.
Mine, Nick. The current standings, Kinzo and Mitro up the top. Just a reminder for everyone at home, there's your top 5.
Now they're going to push. He is hurt. He has no shield. And I think a big factor in these engagements is knowing when your enemy doesn't have shield and when they do. If you get a shot when they do have shield, you tend to play a little more passively. But when you realize, you see, okay, he's hurt, you tend to be a little more aggressive.
The pain goes down.
Great play. And here it comes, staying from above. This guy has shield, so he might play a little more cautiously. With the edit play, drops down, peeks, and he tries to build without looking around, and he pays.
Wow, what a great punish there coming out.
And there could be another team nearby. I think they're going to get into a build-up here. Enemy has ultimate high ground here. He's peeking. 1 versus 2 right now. He's all by himself. He's leaving himself very exposed from the guy who has the high ground, the enemy.
Oh no, so DK's going to try and fall down. But his teammate's gone, so I mean, it's like, just go in, right?
And now he's getting... Oh,
it's Ukes! Wow. Wow, so it's Ukes and Reflection. They're here now.
And what he tried to do is try to go to his teammate to save him, but it was too late. He maybe possibly should have focused on the guy who was split up. Instead, when he dropped down and went to the other team, that allowed the enemy to follow him, and then they pinched them together. When it's 1 versus 2, you almost want to isolate the enemies and take them on one by one. And he had that opportunity early on before he went to his teammate that was downed.
Here we go. These are the King and guys. King wins.
Nice little outskirt, nice little calm area of the map.
What the heck happened here at the edge?
Oh,
there's one player.
There's a lot of action. Wow, man. The clinger goes out. Grenades, explosions, everything. They're just not saving anything at all. They want this man dead, eliminated.
That's right. And I mean, at this point, right, we talked about it. Every single elimination matters. Every single point is the difference in standings right now.
Yeah, and they have a lot of mats here. They have a lot of ammo, and it's going to be curious. I'm curious if they're going to waste it all just to get this one elimination. Or even 2.
That's a great point. It's almost like, is it worth overcommitting for it?
Right.
It's hard. Wait.
Did he drop down?
I don't know.
There's a little tombstone down there.
Is there?
Yeah. Apparently someone got stuck there.
Oh.
And there was wow.
Yeah, so they fell there to their death, unfortunately. Were downed.
Yeah.
And they secure the elim.
A little side story, Muzelk actually tried to rescue someone who got trapped down there in a public match.
Oh, yeah.
And then he ended up eliminating the player he was trying to save, and so they have a tombstone as a memorial. Epic Games did that as a little Easter egg. It's very, very funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
He bounced into him with the ATK and sent the player flying.
You gotta love the little things that Epic Games does to spice it up and to add that variety.
That's right. This is a little bit of a replay here.
Peeks and he tries to build without looking around.
That was a super dope play.
Very good.
And then
play.
Remember, this is when Reflection and then his teammates follow up.
Yeah. They played that very well. Another engagement here. He is by himself.
Oh, man, this is Mark. Yeah, he's by himself, like you're saying.
And no, look at his match, Zeke. I mean, very low. He has no AR or any kind of submachine gun ammo. All he has is a hunting rifle to work with and a heavy shotgun.
It's gotta be. It's a tough spot. You can only build 3 things.
Right.
That's it.
And in this engagement, he almost wants to keep that high ground. He probably shouldn't have dropped down here. He's going to waste mats building up, and then he has no cover if he really needs to resort to materials as a last resort escape. Maybe we should listen in. This could be pretty intense.
All right, let's listen in.
Oh, wow, he finds down? He goes for the elimination versus the person shooting them. And that's where it comes down to, do they want that wrecking ball bonus? But it might have been better to focus on the guy who is alive.
Yeah.
He wanted that elimination so badly that it cost him his life.
That's right. Keenstar and Amar here. They're making their way over to Shifty. And, I mean, Keenstar, I can't even say enough awesome things about this player.
Very great player, eh? Yeah.
So
it looks like he has a lot of materials. He's got a decent amount of ammo, and he has a minigun, which is interesting. Not too many players use it. Definitely a great weapon for late game, and I think he's saving it late game when people are building a lot of structures, possibly.
Look at that. He immediately saw a player on his left. You know what I'm wishing that we saw more, that we saw yesterday, was the ramps.
Yeah.
As like the tunnel method.
Right.
I want to start seeing that all the time. Because right there, you saw he had to slow down, he had to hop, look to his left, build a wall, hop, look to his left, build a wall, where he could just build the ramps that were at an angle and just kept running.
So if those of you guys who don't know what this strategy is when you're getting shot from somewhere and you're not trying to engage, you know, you'll jump and build a wall, you'll jump and build a wall, and the reason you jump is to keep your momentum going forward. However, another way of getting cover is you just put up the ramps, you rotate it once, and then it offers a protection, and you'd almost have to see it in person to actually understand what we're talking about. But using ramps as cover is a very great strategy.
It's the new thing.
Yeah.
We saw it yesterday. It's so sick.
Yeah.
But here we go, looking at the map, the overhead view here. I mean, look at this. So this is near Shifty Shafts. You know, Keenstar's there. There's 2 duos there alongside them. We've got people in Tilted Towers. There's 2 duos there.
Yeah. Oh, wow, and he goes down.
No,
Keenstar and he's finished right away.
Severin takes him down.
And that enemy loses his shield as well. He's trying to loot him right now. He's going to Twitch Amar is going to want to put some pressure on him, but that way he can't loot his teammate. Because he's getting a bunch of loot now. He's probably restocking on mats, possibly healing up, getting his minis.
I didn't even think about that because Keenstar always has an abundance of materials. So the moment he downs him, it's like if that guy picks up all those materials, he's good to go.
And you saw him do that right there, and now he's going to be well equipped. He's giving him time, but he's going to wait. He's going to play the waiting game. Possibly there could be a third party that he doesn't want to get shot from. He wants to play it safe, possibly go for that kingpin bonus, triple the points in the next game.
Oh, man. It's hopping over here. Look at that. So that's the Solary area, airwalks, and then Hunter there on the bottom right. Look at this. We got a little bit of fight on the top left here.
Right. And it's there's some battles in Paradise Palms. There's some battles near Loot Lake. I mean, just battles everywhere. This is an all-out frenzy. Yeah. They want any kind of bonus or just points in general. They want those eliminations. Now, he's got to be careful that he doesn't get sniped here. He's standing very still. Oh, and he gets it.
Uite, sunt francezi, sunt
We've seen a lot of snipers in the previous round, Zeke. I mean, the way he's peeking right now is pretty risky to do.
Very dangerous, especially now. There's a lot of open space, right? The line of sight, there's not many natural things, especially when you're building up that high.
Yeah, and the longer they draw out this battle, the more likely an enemy's going to hear it or see it if they get high enough with their builds, and then he possibly could get picked off.
This is back to Amar, who's flying away. So what's interesting about the Solary guys is they're actually kind of playing in one studio, and they have someone that's like switching between them, so that's why you kind of see them going back and forth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that's an interesting setup.
Yeah, so, and then last week, they actually had their pyramid, their setup in like a diamond.
Right.
It was all solo. They were sitting across each other. It's super dope, man.
That's cool. That's a very unique setup. So here we see the Storm kind of pushing in either Hunter or Airwalks, and they're definitely going to want to keep on moving, kind of get in the zone, get a good position, and scout out. You almost sometimes, when you get in the zone, not necessarily want to build right away. You're almost wasting mats. Maybe you want to see where the next zone is going to be before you think of building that one by one and consuming all those mats.
Definitely, definitely.
De jucat surcat, de venit. Băi, de tricotat am mai auzit, dar de tricotat n-am mai auzit, Andrei.
He even sees someone, but he's not trying to pick anyone off because he doesn't have any long range. He has an AR, and he can utilize that first shot accuracy, but maybe he doesn't want to give away his position.
That's a really great point. You know, you do want to find eliminations, but the moment you give yourself away, then that's information you're giving away for free, right? So now everyone's like, oh, there's a player here.
And he might not even hit that shot. And I mean, is one shot with an AR gonna get the elimination? Most likely not. So is the risk worth the reward?
Right, over to Fnatic Power and Jarl. You can see them right up the top. Alex down below them in a 1-by-1.
Wow.
Arma and Urasc.
And this wide-angle view is really nice, Zeke. You can see everything going on here.
Oh, Urasc gets taken down. So Amar is by himself there. Oh, you know what? Amar is actually, so it's actually Alex and Urasc that are a duo. Amar is by himself. And then the Fnatic guys are also in a duo.
So there's a lot of parties here involved.
Yeah, guys are all there, like literally not that far away. They're probably a grid space away.
Yeah. And wow!
Oh!
I always talk about saving your explosives and not wasting them like that, but clearly he did not waste them. That was a beautifully thrown Klinger grenade.
That's right, and they find Fnatic Power, so Jarl is by himself. Now they have to play the turtle game. He's got to try and get power up before they can make this assault.
He's almost not going to want to go for the revive. He's going to want to shoot at the people who's shooting at them. Otherwise, now, look, they can get the high ground without any worry of being shot by the enemy. And now they pinch him right here. When a teammate goes down, sometimes it's best to just avoid them entirely and not go for the revive. Focus on the people who downed your teammate.
They're splitting them up here. I can't tell if this was Jarl here.
Oh, great shots, and he's hurt, lit up.
Oh, so power goes down, and then there you see that was Amar by himself.
Yeah.
I have 5, you?
Great plays there. I mean, they have a lot of materials. They have a lot of ammo, a lot. And a decent loadout. They're going to be very well set up for endgame if they make it that far.
It sounds like one of the players here has 5 eliminations, and he was trying to call out.
Oh, and another enemy right here.
Oh, man.
Wow, it was a 1 versus 2 as well. That was a crazy hectic battle right there.
Yep.
Oh,
Gabriel s-a îndrăgostit de Ali.
Oh, what is he saying?
Team.
Another team? Oh, my gosh. Dude, in situations like this.
He's panicking,
I can't. Chill out.
So you saw he fell. His teammate's still building up, though.
Right.
This is actually a blessing.
In the spray from behind is one shot. One shot. The enemy team is literally one shot. Both players are one shot. They need to be aggressive here to get the finish. And if they don't, they're going to heal up. They're going to get in a better position and spray him. Mind you, he can go down. Tohaj can go down with 1 shotgun blast. And he's in the storm. A lot of pressure is currently on him.
He's got to keep running. Oh, they're all fighting in the storm.
And here he comes. Oh, and he goes down.
Look, it was the VGA guys. They're right across the hill here. They make their way over. They heard the fighting and said, we want some of this.
And they were so low, I think they both died. He weakened them so much that both of them end up dying. They wanted to take him with them.
That's right.
The trade right there. And I think Tohaj's teammate realizes he needs a bail. I mean, when the storm closes, it's going to chunk for 5 damage per second. I mean, there's no way they're getting out of that, even with the med kit that he has.
Yeah, it's just, you know, especially because you have so far to run. If they had like a launch pad or, you know, bouncers, okay, sure. They only have 1 bouncer, that's not going to get them back.
No.
I mean, sometimes when your teammate goes down, as we were saying, you just gotta leave them at. You gotta be selfish in some of these scenarios. Otherwise, you'll both end up dying versus just one of you.
Da, vroia să facă cu Danny ceva, iar Gabriele tu cu Ali, frate, deci nu mâncați ce nu trebuie, că oricum știu foarte bine.
In that team up on the hill, you saw a metal structure being built. They are in the zone just barely.
Da, păi
and I think right now,
e o chestie. Eu am auzit altceva, Andrei, care treaba cu Danny, cu Capi, cu Eddie, cu mai mulți, înțelegi? O figură.
So Hunter has no eliminations. Okay, so Airwax has 3, so they need 4 more to initiate Wrecking Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they get a Victory Royale, in which case.
Yeah. And now you see everyone's moving in. As soon as that next circle comes in, everyone wants that better position in the main circle before other players currently get in, like so. And now this is where they can get picked off very easily. So they're gonna maybe want to start building ramps, trying to build walls. And here's Yet at far away.
Man, that was I was very brave. I don't know that I personally could have ran toward, you know, a 2x1.
Right.
But, you know, it looked like the players were still building, so they were like, look, they're building. We have a small window to get to where we need to go and immediately start building. And you saw that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And here it is. He has the high ground right here. Enemy down below. There was an RPG. I'm not sure if it was a teammate's RPG or an enemy. That's something to consider. I think it's a teammate. They're both firing at the same enemy. And it looks like a 2 versus 1 here. Great pressure. They're focused on the same wall here. Oh, and he doesn't even build. Nice.
Cypher snafu. They find the elimination. They have 1 under their belt.
Great teamwork there. I mean, there's not much you can do when you're getting pinched by 2 players. I mean, you almost have to fight back. Otherwise, they're just sitting in the open, and a lot of people stay still as they're trying to put that pressure. A lot of people don't expect one person to fight back when they're being outnumbered. So the good players will try to always fight back. And in that situation he was in, it was tough even for him to fight back with where he was at and the storm right on him as well. He did a very good job.
Absolutely. 20 players left. There's the little map. You can see it there. Players are spaced out, but man, they're going to start to forced in by the storm, and they're going to have to make some decisions.
They got the matching skins as well.
Oh, yeah. Those are the founder skins. I love them.
Right. Very nice, very nice. Scouting out, waiting for the next circle, I think, before they make their move. They're possibly counting teams, seeing where everyone's at when they do decide to push in. They don't get blindsided from someone who is below them or to the right. They have eyes on everyone right now. They're trying to scout.
Look at that. They're looking at third party. You saw some of the tracers at range. They're fighting each other. You see rockets being fired in.
I mean, it almost begs the question.
Wow. So if someone finds the final elim there in Andiza, that means that elimination is going. There you go.
Wow.
Airwax can secure it there.
And
my gosh.
I was going to ask the question, is it worth it to, while they're distracted building off, like to push in and go go for the center of the zone to get closer to the next circle, or go for those eliminations. And clearly, they took the right option by going for the eliminations. Great plays right here.
We saw Hunter do the Razor do this a few games ago.
Pentru că
when
e
you're seeing two
un
people
lucru
fight,
interesant.
you want a third party, right? And you saw it. They find an elimination just because some player wasn't paying attention. They're like, hey, look, this is our threat. And then immediately Urasc says, look, you've given me just an inch. I'm going to turn that into a mile, and now I have an extra elim under my belt.
And I mean, people get tunnel vision. We saw that in a clip earlier where it was a 2 versus 1. And I mean, the two players were just focused on that one because the one was just like building or not really doing anything back. And those are perfect opportunities for third parties because they're so tunnel vision focused on that just one enemy that it provides such a great opportunity to do a lot of damage.
Look at this, stink bombs. He's carrying forward, trying to flush people out. They need to get out of the gas there or they're going to start taking a bunch of damage.
Yeah, a lot of action happening here. And mind you, the storm circle is very far. It moves very quickly, and there's 40 seconds until it moves. So they have to be aware of that. Have to be quick. The shotgun play from up above focuses on the one below him as well. He's not trying too much attention to just one person. That team fire, and now they can team fire the second.
Nick, that was City Driver. They have eliminated City Driver.
They're very close here. A couple C4s. They don't want to stay too close in both loot. Almost one should be looting, one should be scouting at this point.
So Camo was City Driver's teammate, and they had a Kingpin bonus from last game, so their points would have been tripled. We have to hope that they found any amount of eliminations, man.
Yeah.
These points are very vital.
I mean, it's not easy to get the Kingpin or the Wrecking Ball bonus, so they want to make advantage of it, or take advantage of it while they have it.
Exactly. We saw Tesco and Snafu went down, and then Fnatic Power and Jarl also went down. They had Wrecking Ball, so
yeah,
we got to just hope, man, they find some eliminations.
And here's that storm. Oh, wow. And they start running early from the zone, and then this enemy picks them off, one of them, and there's no way he's getting revived here.
Oh, it's Camo. Camo's still up.
Wow.
So Camo still has Kingpin bonus active. So even that one elimination, if that was the only one he has, that's now 3 points.
And as we saw with Camo getting that elimination, sometimes it's better to wait before you run to the next circle. Wait till the zone pushes everyone out. Otherwise, Camo's going to be up top, and he's going to laser you while you're trying to go to the next zone early.
Oh, no. Look at the top there. Atlantis, Mitro, and Kinzel. These guys are the guys at the top. They're all the way above. They have high ground.
Great positioning. Great positioning. This is going to be an interesting battle, Zeke. Man.
10 players left, Nick.
Yeah.
Everyone is now racing to try and get better position. They're all tunneling, trying to just give themselves the advantage they can right now.
And as you can see, they're extending a ton of 1-by-1s. I mean, they're just trying to set up a nice little tunnel and claim all that area so no enemies can build next to them. And that way they have a clear advance to the next zone coming up very soon in 25 seconds.
Interesting that he drops this remote explosive for the rocket launcher.
Right. Yeah, and maybe it's a thing of, because I think, how many remote explosives I didn't see, but maybe it's a possibility of he has 12 rocket ammo, or RPG ammo, so there's more explosions that can be made versus only like four remote explosives.
And the thing is, too, is rockets fly in a straight line, right? So once you fire, you fire and forget, whereas with the remote explosive, you actually kind of have to, like, throw it. You have to make sure you're marking it correctly and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Look at that, bouncing out. Alex, look at that. Alex says, nice bouncer. I'm going to put some damage on you. That was Kinzel.
Goes down, and the storm is going to consume him. He's not going to be able to escape that. A lot of RPG use going on right now, as we just saw.
Oh, look at that. So Kinzel goes down. That means only Atlantis Mitro from last 2 games ago. Yeah. Mitro is currently, their team is at the top of 17 points.
He's very high up as well. He can easily get shot down. Hopefully he's reinforcing that, and now an enemy connects it as well. It's a little better reinforced. And now it's a battle of high ground. The zone is so close now. The enemy, wow, and there's that RPG.
Okay.
And here it comes, 2 versus 1 from, wow, and they're peeking from below, from above. They're dropping down. Shotgun shots everywhere.
There's no mats. They have no mats.
Wow, and he gave up the high ground. The enemy dropped down. Oh, someone's building up too. This is not good.
Nick, only 6 players left.
You've got to hope his teammate has some mats to share with them.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like at this point he would have given him some, right?
Right. They both could be out of mats. They could be in a tricky situation. How do they get to the next zone? They have to drop down on ground level. If they survive, there's 3 seconds now. The storm is coming in.
It sounded like one of the rockets may have damaged shields. Hard to say. Oh, look. Okay, so he gives him some metal.
No, but it was only like 20.
It was like 20.
He could build 2 walls or 2 ramps or 2 floors. That's not good. And the RPG brings someone down.
So there's it looks like a few, it's duos. Or now, look, So it's 2 duos.
Caught in the storm now. The storm is
singletons.
Yeah, and the storm is chunking for 10 Zeke as well. So they got to be very aware of that as they're trying to fight. With no mats, I mean, if he drops down here, he could be. Wow!
And that was Lunary Airwalks. They find the elimination. So Madison and the Vic claim victory route here in our match number 3. That means for next game, they're gonna have the Kingpin bonus active. So their eliminations for next game.
That game was crazy. Okay, so I would just like to say that the end game circle, ever since Epic changed it, is just spectacular. I mean, there's always action now. Before, there would be a lot of camping, right? Because the zone would always go in a predictable fashion. Now it goes out in the zone, out in the storm, and I mean, people are forced to run, build. I mean, there's just, with the shortened storm circle times, it gets hectic. What a battle. What a finish.
Let's take a look at that final moment there from the last game. And for everyone at home, don't forget to hit us with that hashtag Summer Skirmish. Let us know how you're enjoying all the action. But this is the final moments here.
And look how close he is to the edge. If he would have dropped down right there, he wouldn't have been able to build to catch his fall. He probably would have went down.
And I think he kind of like stepped for a minute and was like, just kidding, my bad.
Relax. You want to get this win, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It went from 8 to 4.
Sunt comentatori, Hellchat.
Yeah.
Deci ăștia doi sunt comentatorii, frate, n-au cum să tacă.
Trebuie să comentezi.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights coming in from that last game to see some cool moments. Let's take a look. Oh, look,
that was that early finish where they softened him up, like picked off early on from Tilted Towers. Wow.
His teammate opens the door and he just shoots his teammate.
Shuts it closed. They don't want anything to do with that. The clinger.
Oh, no. He finds one.
Oh my god, these pop-in shots are beautiful. And using cover, always peeking from the right side shoulder.
Wow.
Great plays.
Very slick. Utilizing the clingers there, looking outside that window.
Yeah, he dealt with 2 people at once there. That was great.
Look at that. That was Tesco. He goes down, and Tesco was in a second place team. They had Wrecking Ball active, and unfortunately, he was eliminated.
Oh, an 8 HP here. Is he going to make a play? The clinger?
Wait,
I thought he was going to get that. Yeah.
That was so close.
But man, we're noticing a lot of action with the storm here. The storm is a big factor in how these teams are rotating, how they're playing. People are getting consumed by the storm. Wow!
Whoa, mid-air!
Uai, de capul meu, n-ai.
That was insane.
Bă, ăsta l-am văzut deja.
Oh my gosh.
And then this pick from such a far distance with the AR.
Look at this, and he finds Andiza. What a beautiful play there.
I mean, yeah.
121 meters as well, man.
That's pretty impressive.
Da, heck.
Getting closer to the top. We're in
salut, Laurențiu, salut. Mamă, de când nu te-am mai văzut la
intense. People are high up, shooting from very high up, crouching up and down to avoid any kind of sniper shots as he's firing.
Oh, he finds an elim for it too.
Yeah.
And look at this, they find that elimination there.
With the storm right on him. And here, I'm like, calm down, don't fall down.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, and he built the floor, he was getting ready to build.
Yep.
He almost fell.
Nu joc PUBG, Laurențiu.
From his perspective now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hard to deal with that in that situation. You've got to kind of be ready. You have to set yourself up for those situations. And
yeah, he was trying to pop that mini shield, but sometimes you just got to fight back, even if you're at 1 HP, right? I mean, you just got to be aggressive at sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll see you on the other side.
Da, dacă erai tu Hellchat, cred că îți luai o bătaie de nu te vedeai. Fanaticul pe locul 3. Nu-i văd pe cei de la NIP. Deci nu văd NIP-ul. Și acum cât mai are Andreier până să face? Hellchat, să știi și tu, Fnatic are pe mai multe părți jocuri. Deci are echipe în mai multe jocuri, tati. Majoritatea echipelor care sunt pe CSGO sunt și pe alte jocuri. Fnaticul joacă și Dota, Fnaticul joacă și Farming, și Fortnite, LOL. Deci joacă mai multe, tati, nu te gândi. A avansat 4%, nasol. ETS nu, n-are ETS, n-au treabă cu ETS-ul băieții. Au cu ATS-ul, băieții treabă. Deci nu vă gândiți, băi, tate, ia uite că e doar cu ăla și nu știu ce, știi? Da, da, e o echipă acolo, Helcea, deci fiecare gen echipă are o anumită echipă pentru un anumit tip de joc. Da, păi culeg ăștia sunt fanatici rău, porumb acolo. Da, în 40 de secunde, dragilor, să înceapă din nou, o să-și revină și o să înceapă al 3-lea sau al 4-lea meci. Salut, Xcăzele, salut și bine venit. Păi ce să fac, băi, Xcăzele, dacă tu nu mai vrei să vii pe la mine pe aici, mă mai iau și eu pe la una alta, tu ce faci? Hellchat a fost frumos, mie mi-a plăcut. Deși mi-a luat spray lacrimogen și celălalt paralizant. Asta e, frate, riscul meseriei. Am vrut să mă duc, mi-am luat-o în două. Aia e. Da, Excăzel, cu World of Warcraft. Da, am vrut să zic atunci, știi, dar mi-ai băgat-o pe aia cu plată, știi, și nu prea am convenit să dau bani așa.
Oh, please don't.
Here we go.
Okay.
Is pineapple good on
Plângi,
pizza?
cum să fie, plângi în pana ursului.
You're no longer my friend, man.
You like pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's like sweet and salty. Have you ever had those granola bars that are sweet and salty? It adds that nice little sweet texture. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows what I'm saying?
You are so freaking weird. Nick, tell me about yourself, and maybe for those at home that maybe don't know about you.
Well, I am a YouTuber, as the hipsters say nowadays. I live stream Fortnite, best game ever. No, I'm not paid to say that. I actually love the game. It's a spectacular game. I literally stream it every single day, and surprisingly, I'm not bored of it at all. I have a ton of fun. I mean, as you can see in these tournaments, every single end game, every single mid game, there's just always different encounters.
Nici la lacrimogene, nici la paralizant nu poți să mai respiri ca lumea.
There you go. Now you get to know Nick a little more.
Înțelegi? Adică stai respirația, stai tot, stai liniștit, Andrei. Dacă nu ți-ai luat-o în gură, nu mai spune prostii.
There you go, all the way to the top, Kenzo and Mitro
again. Fanaticul pe 6, ai n-IP-ul pe 13, n-IP, mamă ce s-a dus, tati.
Now Hunter and Airwax will have Wrecking Ball going into next game, so their points will be doubled. They're in 12th, you can see the Vic and Madsen, they secured that victory.
Trufea spune da aia, Hellchat.
So for this,
dar în alt mod nu, pentru că, na.
We'll have to keep it. I mean, that's
păi cumpărați niște salam când știu că nu ai, Gabriele.
Look, only one team has the wrecking ball bonus. It's very difficult to get. So when
păi au căzut, tati, au căzut și lați, stai liniștit. Am văzut vreo două femei luate pe brațe și scoase de acolo. Au avut nevoie de salvare, de smur, de tot, frate, deci nu. La noi nu au fost de-astea, zic, un protest liniștit, dar noi să fac mai proteste de-astea aiurea, știi? Dar cele făcute de PSD sau așa, alea sunt liniștite, adică nu se bat între ei ca lumea, da.
Even if you're not the best skill-wise or gunplay-wise, I mean,
da, sunt, stai liniștit că sunt copii, deci mulți au plecat din cauza că au venit și cu copii și alea, frate, deci bătrâni care, gândiți-vă că nu duc la fel de mult cum putem să ducem noi, tineretul, deci nu. Organizarea, păi măi, Andrei, este un protest, uite, eu am fost spontan plecat, Andrei, deci e o diferență destul de mare.
Go. I'm excited. Dude, we got some more action to be seen. I'm really excited.
Uite la.
Literally like unprecedented levels of action.
Right, and I mean, like, it goes back, we're going back to that hunting rifle shot or the bolt action shot, or there's just so much different gameplay involved in different, I guess, shots that we haven't really seen in week one. It's just people are playing.
Nu interesează, nu interesează Hellchat. Deci jandarmii când primesc ordinul să atace, nu mai contează.
So their points for this game will be tripled. Any eliminations they get, at the end of this match are tripled.
Înțelegi? Deci aia n-am nicio treabă. Este o gagică pe raion, ce să zic. Spune că iubește un nebun. Du-te după ea, nu o lăsa.
Now, mind you, the rift a little further north of Tomato Town is a good spot to quickly escape and choose spots. Wow, switching over.
Mamă, deja ăștia și-au găsit kill-ul.
Early, interesting, and salty as well. Nick, what's your favorite place to land on the map and why?
I would say an area that has a mix of mats and a good amount of loot, but also a lot of action as well. Tilted Towers is my home, as Nick Merckx likes as well. Yeah, that's his home. I mean, I can't claim it, but
nu e neapărat că nu se gândesc Helcet, aia e meseria lor. Înțelegi?
You can see everyone's pretty spaced out right now. There are a few duos that are very, very close to each other.
Yeah, and in Salty Springs, you can see oh wow, there's 3 possible teams in Salty Springs, and as you can see, there's some action going on right here. One down below them. He's stuck in a floor. He takes him out right there.
Dang, with the dual pistols, man.
Very well done. I mean, you got to work with what you have, and that's the thing about early game. You don't always get that loadout that you want. You don't always get that shotgun that you want. So it's always risky going for those engagements early on.
Da, și unde mai duci, Andrei? Unde mai te duci? Că nu ai spațiu. Gândiți-vă că la protest ieri au fost în centru, era gol. Majoritatea eram dați într-o parte pentru a ne putea feri. Deci stăteam în față și în spate ca să ne putem feri în, știi?
There's actually a rift up above them a little bit to the northwest. And I mean, you can always see the scene. Wow, takes a shot.
They're trying to third party this right now.
Wow!
Oh, that was Urasc. Okay, okay. So now they're going to so his teammate managed to secure that elim.
Nice. Very well played there. And I mean, that was with the dual pistols. There's no first shot accuracy either, so that was a great little shot. And as you can see, another one coming in. He's not even fighting back. This is a perfect opportunity to be aggressive here.
Wait, I think there's 2 different players in there. I think there's a duo inside this building. Maybe?
Possibly.
Just got to blow up the roof. Let's see.
He's trying, yeah, you're right. He is trying to get up there, trying to get an angle. They're playing this very smart, but they got to be quick, otherwise the enemy will escape.
Yeah, but look, see, there's one duo, one of the 2 duos down there, and look, here's the second one here.
Oh, and he gets it. Man, there's a lot of dual pistol action going on here.
Dude, dual pistols, man. They're my favorite weapon.
Very
underrated weapon.
They're very
da,
good.
Pe nu. Dar și afară, Andrei, dacă batem fundul să împrăștie în aer, peste tot te omoară. Înțelegi? Și la cum dădeau ei, ne cam omora peste tot.
Yeah. So now Razor's got 2 eliminations. They're trying to probably, if I'm assuming, I know Razor, he's probably going to try and play for Wrecking Ball, right? We saw him a couple games ago find 6 eliminations, but couldn't get that 7th.
Right. And yeah, and they're probably trying to get some materials right now for those engagements that they run into. And then, as I mentioned, the rifts up above, and they're most likely going to take that. They're going to probably scout out a team that is weaker than them or try to third.
Da, eu sunt. Îți place cum arătă?
Ce zici? Diza and Mesu here. Macau.
Okay, Helchat.
Nice, and there's all battles all across the map, really. I mean, you would think that the majority of battles would take place in like Tilted or Salty in a regular public match, but these tournaments are so much different. Everyone spreads out because everyone wants to go to a spot where no one else is going, and they think that it's unoccupied, like an outskirt area, somewhere like Wailing Woods. But in these tournaments, I mean, everywhere you go, people are spread out.
Look at this. So they're making they're calling an audible. They're saying, look, we just got to go. We have to get out of Storm. Storm is about to come in 40 seconds. Just leave them. And I think that's the right play, right? Because if you get to the circle first, you've got players running in from the Storm.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
They could have got third-partied if they didn't disengage. And now they have their full attention on this team, and that is perfect. Great disengage on that earlier team.
They're trying to find high ground, but in the tree line, man.
He got stuck by the tree right there. He was crouching to try to get up, and he got lasered.
Okay, okay, and this is tough. Always fighting within the tree line. It's very
tough. I mean, you can't build, you can't shoot. It's really tricky. You almost have to just get on the ground floor like so and engage.
There you go. So they've got 1 elimination. There's 1 player left. And let's not forget, there's also a team that was inside Risky.
You're very right about that.
So if they hear all this action, you got to assume they probably want to come over and see if they can find some low-health enemies here.
They've got to be quick with their looting right here or possibly run away. And also, that team in Risky, they're going to have to come the same way. Look at the storm where it's forcing people.
The double crouch. That was good. We actually have a replay here from Method. Let's take a look at this.
In Salty, and those were those multiple teams we talked about earlier that were in Salty. Oh. Windows are so underutilized. Beautiful.
Oh, he double edits? No way. Is he going to edit again? Oh, okay.
That team fire. Breaks the window, and then the teammate shotgun.
Wow, he clips him from the side. Nice buckshot there.
That was some great coordination.
Deci nu mai vorbești. Păi, tati, gândește-te că eu doar mă uit aici pe campionat. Și mai sunt încă 15 minute și încheiem și noi live-ul, pentru că nu să stau tot campionatul să mă uit la el, pentru că, da, vă dați seama, doar nu stau degeaba să mă uit la un campionat într-un an. Și da. Da, sunt aranjate, Helcea, sunt aranjate. Adică o echipă câștigă 100%, frate, niciodată nu câștige una așa de ambixă.
Do you think maybe the incentive is like we have to win?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the percentage ratios, I mean, I'm not gonna break down math or anything, but like only one team is gonna get that kingpin bonus. I mean, multiple teams could get the wrecking ball bonus. I mean, there's a bunch of opportunities to get that wrecking ball. So I think it's more likely that people are going for wrecking ball bonuses rather than surviving end game, because it is not easy.
Yeah. This is Rennick and Skype. You can see them in Greasy Grow. They're fighting another duo.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
a lot of action. Wow, one on the other side. Yeah, and he's trying to. Oh, wow, that nice little pinch. Beautiful. And now they're both building in the same one by one. They might want to extend out while one builds. He's a distraction now. His teammate can extend outwards.
Salut, Archid. Salut.
But oh, Rennick goes down.
Oh,
cum adică ce-am pățit aseară, Archid? Lacrimogene, ce să pățesc?
Nice little forward to block the incoming gunfire. Now he's going to make an edit when he has to reload, and wow, he takes full advantage of that opportunity.
So I don't know if you saw what happened, but basically he placed a floor and he watched the health. The moment that the bullets came through and destroyed the structure, he was literally moving up and was passing through it as it was phasing out, and he lands a buckshot of 34 to catch the enemy off guard, and that's what made the difference there.
I mean, the timing doesn't get any better than that. That was great.
Look at this. This is Goofy and excited. And
yeah,
guys.
Now they do have the high ground here. However, like, I mean, they could camp it out and scout out, but with their mass, I think if they were to build one by ones, they wouldn't be sitting too well on materials or even ammo to be able to picking off these teams for late game. They might want to drop down very, very soon. I don't see them camping up here.
Look at this. They're just trying to gatekeep right now, and that's trying to keep people from getting in from the storm.
Yeah, and this is great pressure. Maybe even an AR would work very well here, because they're covering themselves. Oh, wow. Great grenade play.
The grenade tags the shield and then immediately hits the health bar, which is really, really good.
Yeah, and we saw his teammate shooting AR to break the walls, and then I think this teammate was focusing on, with the thermal AR, to really do that heavy-hitting damage.
Look at this, just running on with a drum gun. Again, just trying to gatekeep. Oh, so Genside, that's nice. Madsen. Madsen goes down.
And here it is, 1 versus 2, he has the high ground.
This is the Vic. Yep, there he is. Wow. So the players from last game with the Wrecking Ball bonus have been, or I'm sorry, that was Kingpin, have been eliminated. So we'll have to see where they place. Yeah. Hopefully they had any eliminations, but now we're over to Tixi.
Mi-a spus Alvis că ai fost la București. Da. Baftă, Helcea. Da, am fost la protest. În prima zi. Pentru că protestul a continuat și astăzi și
so they're definitely going to want to be quick. I think they, there is another team here. The storm circle is going to be key. Pay attention to the timer, everyone. This could get very tricky in a few moments.
Yeah, with only a minute before the storm moves, they've got to find a duo here.
Yeah.
Look, they're kind of like instinctively like backing off.
I think they're aware of the storm. They realize that if they do want to survive, it's not worth it to take that fight.
Dar e brună. Vână-te.
Especially when you're kind of like running with your air back to an enemy. You don't want to get too far away from your teammate, because if something goes wrong.
And what they're doing here is, since they're further into the zone, the enemy team, these guys can laser them as they're trying to escape the zone. Like, this team won't have to move running from the zone for a long time, whereas the enemy team will have to move much sooner, and that's when they can pick them off, when they're trying to run in the open to escape that storm. Very smart choice to get up on the mountain a little closer to the next circle.
They do have what looks like a few bouncers, so if things go wrong, they can... Oh, no. Wixley goes down at range.
I mean, just lasering with that green AR.
Yeah, man. And look at this. I feel like at this point they're like, look, we got one of them. We gotta go.
No need to be greedy.
Yeah, we've got one elimination. Let's just keep going.
Especially with no healing items. I mean, that's a right call to make.
They're disengaging. Okay, so look at this. This is Flush Factory.
Flush Factory. You don't see too much action going on here, but as we talked about, I mean, people like to spread out in these tournaments. People go in spots you don't normally go. And they have the high ground as well in the upper left corner of your screen. Very, very nice.
Oh,
no. One of the players goes down there, and I feel like he's just got to disengage. He's got to leave him.
Yeah, there's especially, yeah, because as we talked about, no healing items, so in the bottom right corner.
And this is Airwax here. He drops the bounce for his team. Did you hear that grenade?
I did.
That is not the sound you want to hear right now.
No, it is not, especially with the wall. So sure, the walls that he has behind him placed will cover him from any kind of sniper shots, but if an enemy has an RPG below, they can almost use those walls to bounce off splash damage, or even a grenade launcher to bounce it up into his 1x1 and do some serious damage. So that's definitely something you got to consider when you build a 1x1 with that back protection. And he must see someone.
Yeah, he's kind of like looking for this other
Sau nu, o să stau până să termină tot meciul.
I mean, he's there's very clearly someone here, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't someone there.
Exactly. Maybe we... Oh, interesting.
Okay, okay. Hopping over to Vonair and Hycrix.
Right, and then there's an enemy in the storm if you guys didn't catch that. And this is going to be good. As soon as this team gets in the zone, they can build and kind of watch the storm and just pick him off as he's trying to escape.
That notification, super trippy. I love it. Look at this, 9 seconds here. Oh, and a supply drop? Yes, please.
Yeah.
I wonder what they'll find. If it explodes.
Do they want to focus on that supply drop or focus on the enemy that's in the storm? I mean, they have a great opportunity here to pick the enemy off. When he's trying to escape the storm and not going to be firing back.
It looks like they're focusing on the supply drop.
Yeah, interesting choice. And there he is, right on him. They could have had the high ground in that scenario, but they prioritized the supply drop, which they didn't get, by the way, mind you. Nice pyramid block.
Oh, and getting third-partied
from the mountain. And they're going to be wasting mats here. I mean, this engagement, that's only a down as well. There's 2. Great pump, and then the combo.
Oh, there you go. So there's the second player there.
That is huge for them.
I think they might. Yeah, I think they actually. I don't know if they have the 7 eliminations, but I think it might be that they're just excited about that. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Oh, I mean, supply drop.
He's got 4. Yeah, and then the supply drop they didn't get earlier. They got the bounce pads. They can use that late game. That's going to be clutch. Man, just a very great position.
Svenos and Tinny. Svenos has 2 elims.
Very great team. Not a lot of mats, honestly, to be working with this late into the game. 329.
We're gonna be in a fight there. I got 300 mats.
And I think they're trying to avoid any fights. He called out that he's going to be in a fight if they go over in that other route, so they're avoiding it. I think that's what they want to do. They only want to take fights that they know they can win, or possibly third party.
That's right. You want to listen in?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hit the guy once. That fucking sucks.
We have 10 seconds to move.
Yeah. Just get under their base.
Getting lasered from above now. I almost feel like that team's going to have to drop down from the high ground, so they've got to be aware right now. The zone's going to be on them. They're definitely going to have to, yeah, and here it is. He drops down the shotgun play.
That was fanatic power. But Jarl takes down Tinny.
And he's going back for it. 2 damage per second for the Storm, but there's a lot of heals here.
They take down fanatic power and Jarl, and now Svenos has all the loot in the world.
And mind you, these healing items, 10 seconds it takes to pop a medkit, okay? So he's got to pop off this medkit when he has 20 HP or higher if he wants to survive. Unless he uses the campfire to combo with it, then it will break even. But when the storm closes, it will chunk for 5 HP per second, and I don't think he's going to survive. He doesn't have time to pop a healing item. And maybe bandages would have been the better approach to pop off 1 and then keep on running, but he has to get out of this storm. If he heals, that means the storm is that much closer to closing, which means it's that much closer to dealing 5 HP per second, and it's not looking good.
This is a really tough spot to be in, but Svenos, I mean, it's Svenos, right?
Yeah,
he's got a plan, and it's been 2 HP.
But
super stressful.
This is, yeah, I don't know if he's, I don't see him coming out of this one alive.
We could have dropped him down, though.
He's got to keep running.
This is tough.
Check back in with him in just a little bit. Now we're going to hop over. Now, these guys are inside the storm. This is the King Win team. They're at the edge. Look at that, the very, very edge. This is literally at the bottom edge of the map.
Very interesting end game, and that's what I like. How all these circles, I talked about it earlier, how it's all like random, right? Anything, not random, but anything can happen in a sense. You know, whether it's early game, mid game, late game, and a factor is that it's a storm circle. I mean, you don't know where it's gonna go, and that's what makes the variety so nice. It's like having that variety is really what makes it entertaining in a sense.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Chunking for 5. Did he make it?
I don't know. Man. Oh my
gosh. Wow.
Wow.
He's still running.
He had to use that med kit at 50 HP or higher because the storm is chunking for 5 damage per second, and it takes 10 seconds to heal a med kit or to use a med kit. Wow, and then there's action here.
So these guys are all, they find both eliminations. And look, Kingwin's secondary friend didn't go down.
Wow.
So he doesn't have he can get the revive. That means there's no points going to anyone else that eliminated him or tried to.
Yeah.
This is really good. I just realized there's still 23 players left.
I'm just more amazed at the fact that Spanos survived that storm. Like,
dude, what a legend.
Dude, I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. And if he goes on to win this, imagine that.
Oh my god.
One of the best comebacks.
The ultimate comeback.
Yeah.
But look, City Driver and Camel are still alive in this game. Unbelievable.
And I mean, this storm circle is very small, and there's quite a few people left. A lot more than like in week 1 in a situation, or day 1 in a situation like this. I mean, these players are very, very good.
Look, they're going for it. They say, look, we have to get into the zone right now.
Yeah. Looks like he's trying to beat that other team. Oh, wow, getting picked off from that high, tall base.
Oh, my gosh. Literally nowhere is safe right now.
Right, and the zone is near the coast of the water. I mean, this could get interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm very excited to
see this play out. Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, it's City Driver and Camel, right? They've been in these types of situations before. They know exactly what they need to do to navigate, but...
I think it's too early to build. With his mats, he's trying to wait. He's trying to see where the next circle is so he doesn't build out of the zone and then have to build another 1 by 1. He's trying to conserve as much as he can, which is why they're just jumping, scouting, and just looking out and not building right now, which is what the majority of players would do in this situation.
Dude, how cool would it be if the storm went inside the water right now?
Yeah, like on the out, like yeah.
Oh my
and you have to build platforms to kind of.
That would be sick.
That'd be cool.
Please.
Epic, do it.
Please.
If they could control it.
Please.
That'd be so cool.
Other way.
And that's
the
why,
other way.
That's why they didn't build and waste their mats. They got to find a way to get over there, which is going to be tough with everyone who has the high ground now.
That's Snafu. So Snafu currently in 2nd place, but we know Tesco is down. City Driver and Camel still alive. 17 players left alive.
They're gonna
wait. What? There's a team here.
Oh my! They're not gonna get the loot though. It's gonna drop down. They gotta be quick.
Oh no!
They're going for it. They need it. They need the mats. Oh.
Okay. Well, they got some of them.
Some, yeah.
That was definitely like a bunch of mats that fell.
And now, what if they use the outskirts, like the down low of the mountains, to build floors and kind of avoid enemy teams and kind of stay near the outskirts to get in? Well, maybe they possibly couldn't because look where the next zone is. I guess they wouldn't.
Yeah, they'd have to move.
Yeah.
They're trying to be really careful. They're trying to like build as few things as possible. There's still 15
players left. Dacă vorbești tu română, și înțelege.
Their
VGI
guys are there. There's so many, there's people, Kinzel, and yet again, Kinzel and Mitro all the way to top of high ground.
This is the most action I've ever seen at Flush Factory. I wish all games would end like this. It's crazy.
I'm just surprised that people are allowing Kinzel and Mitro to get that high ground. This is how they're securing these Victory Royale and all these eliminations. They're holding the 1st place spot.
Yeah. Wow, and then we see a build-off right here. Oh no, that's his teammate building up to his other guy. Okay.
Okay. This is
very
Kinzel.
nice.
So this is one of the top 2, one of the players from the top team. His teammate is Mitro.
Right,
and they just have high ground, man.
And if they have high ground, I mean, they can keep it as long as the next zone is nearby. And then, I mean, it's looking good for them. It's looking really good, except for that team up there. If there's still another team on top of that Flush Factory, it could get pretty dicey.
15 players still left alive. I think things are going to start to heat up as we start to move into this next circle.
Yeah. And I think a good option would be to wait before he builds up even higher. I think they might even, as long as the bottom of their base is well supported. Oh, they're going to third party here. Wow, and it was just one shot.
What a great elim. That's still a point, man. Every single elimination matters at this stage.
Exactly. And this team that they're shooting at is getting caught in the storm. A lot of pressure on them from this AR. I mean, there's just so much going on. They're in a building.
1 HP HP, they say.
That metal takes a long time to break up that structure. It's going to be hard to melt through that with an AR. It's going to give that player some time to heal in there.
So there you go. Kinzel finds another elim, so that's 2.
And now here they go. They build up even higher. As long as their base is well supported at the bottom, that's good. And as long as there's no explosives. But
termină meciul ăsta și încheiem, Iulian.
They have the match to kind of extend out to the next zone. They may do that
cred că da, cred că da, Andrei. Numai să văd, să văd.
Let's actually listen. I'm curious to see what they're saying.
He might push us behind us. There's one team.
Oh yeah, building up.
Shit, I don't have medium bullets. We need to go. Shall we go down and... Let's go behind these guys, east. Do you want to do it? Or don't want to stand high ground?
Yeah, go behind these guys east.
And you see, they almost wait until the enemies are distracted. Now they have a nice little opportunity to sneak on in. Oh, wow, but another team has the same idea.
Oh, 2 nice hits there.
Nice. And it kind of gets them to backfire or back away and leave this team alone. Very smart.
And look at that. That player landed there and immediately 1-by-1 metal box.
And it looks like they're trying to overtake this high ground from the enemy below them. Very smart.
Need to build to him.
I really appreciate that Kinzel is like essentially fortifying.
Right.
As Mitro's building. Mitro's building one straight line, going exactly where he needs to go, and then Kinzel's right behind him, just fortifying. Here's a wall here. I know this is floor here. This is going to keep us stable.
Mind you, he's wasting a lot of mats doing so. I mean, he's only at, I can't really see, I think 100 or 200. Not very much for this late game now.
That kind of scared me. I saw the trap reload, so I thought it was maybe Mitro that went down to the trap, and I thought it just reloaded in your face. You're gonna be eliminated. Nope. Okay, luckily it's their trap.
And there's only 5 teams left. 5 players, sorry. 2 teams and a solo.
So yeah, you gotta think it's either 2v1, 1v1.
Oh, right.
Yeah, ones, or it's 2 duos versus 1.
Yeah. Oh, and he gets tagged very hard. One shot, and he could be going down. Wow. And they have high ground here. The storm is pushing in. They need to make a move while they're focusing on the enemy, while trying to focus on not getting shot as well with his low HP.
Get the kill. He's dead to storm.
He might be a little too aggressive here. He's got to be careful of that storm. It chunks for 10 HP per second.
Oh, shit.
Wow! Oh. They get it! Nice!
Crezi că nu au ajuns ca să s-a oprit telefonul. Foarte bine, Gabriel. Bun, dragilor, eu vă mulțumesc că ați fost alături de mine. Eu am fost Cântani. La revedere!